All right, Teplo tribe, welcome again to another tribal council, the second to last tribal council of this game. 5 of you remain. We are crowning the glory spot. Right before anything begins, spam your links away, guys. Okay?
Did you post it?
I already know they're going to right now. I'm gonna get them. Sorry, I had to talk about it live. And everybody, can you please, once you spam the link, can you please sign off of Skype? No more communication with the tribe. Are you listening, Brady?
I'm done.
You never gave us the link.
Oh, I'm waiting for them, but I'm telling you, once, okay, there it is. Once you spam the link, it is time to sign off of.
Just wait, I'm going to have to open the link to then get to it.
Shout out to Ricky Hogarth for spawning immunity at the end. Okie dokie. A couple more seconds and we will get this thing going.
She does look really pretty in that photo.
And Tanya.
Yeah.
Let's show everyone see on cam the many faces of Tanya.
I think she's having issues. She keeps joining me.
God, Wayne looks like he's freezing.
Two Tanya.
Alright guys, we're starting this.
What's better than one Tanya, two of them?
Okay, everybody, mute, stop typing, sign off of Skype now. Jury, please remain muted until somebody's torch is snuffed, and then you can unmute and sigh or laugh or try to emote some sort of sound with your facial expression. All right, so welcome, Final Five, to the Glory Spot Tribal Council. I will now bring in the members of our jury. Those who could not make it tonight: Will, Natalie, Jessica, and we had at last night's Tribal Council, Daniel. But here tonight we have Tanya, Gannon, and Mr. Hunter. All right, guys. All right, everybody, please mute until I call on you. Felix,
Yes.
first one out of the challenge. You won the last one. Do you think that you were targeted, or it was just a case of bad luck?
I think it's just a case of just system now. It just seems I'm either going to come first or last, and nothing else is going to happen. So next community challenge, if I'm not first to drop out, I'm going to be feeling slightly confident. But yeah, I don't. It was just I made bad decisions, and that's why I got first out of the challenge.
So do you think Do you regret like teleport? You were the only one to teleport more than once, if I'm not mistaken. Do you regret?
I don't think I made. I don't think teleport. I think the moves I made once I teleported was the issue.
Heard. So you are the last leaky standing. We'll say
It's been like this for a while.
this over and over again since the first round after the merchants. Will left. He was
Final
the
10.
one from Leaky to make the merge with you. He was the first one out. You've been trying to coordinate your way through these two tribes, Malka, Kuban, one with 5 members, the other with, I think, 4 entering the merge, and then there's 3 days into the merge, Will's gone, and there's just you as this lone youngest person in the game. How have you made it here? How have you made it to this point?
I don't. Maybe I've just been. Maybe it's sympathy. Maybe it's due to me actually being good. I don't know what it is. I've somehow got here. Whatever I'm doing is working. I don't really know what I'm doing, but whatever it is that's happening, I've somehow arrived at Final 5. So
Right. Question.
I don't know what I'm doing, but it's got me here.
All right, well, now, question on top of that reply. Do you think at this stage in the game where people like Gannon, who are big threats, get voted out, people like Daniel, who have resumes, big moves and stuff like that, they get voted out, and then here you are at the final 5 being like, I have no idea how I got in here. Like, take some credit to a move that you've made or the sides that you've voted on. Give me something that credits you getting here other than I literally have no idea, because I know you're a smart guy. You know why you're here. Tell the jury and tell me.
Well, I'm not completely clueless how I've got here, because anyone that's completely clueless, that's a bit ridiculous. I've done things pre-merge. I did a couple of things. Once we merged, I had nobody, so I saw a face there when I said I did things pre-merge. I think there was questioning there, but if I get to Final Tribal Council, I can explain what happened there. But I think as far as post, I've done some things. I've decided what side to be on, and people stop shaking your heads at me with this. I've made some moves, and I've got here by making those moves. So I've decided the right side to be on to at least get here. If that takes me to the end, we'll see. I will tell you, Tanya. If I make Final Tribal Council, I'll tell you what moves.
Okay, I have a question. Let me speak on behalf of the jury. This is Tribal Council. This is the time to state the facts.
Okay.
Is it purposeful intention to keep your game a little bit covert? What happens if you don't make the final tribal council? Don't you want to state for the record for the viewers and for the jury? What has Felix done other than enter the jury alone, align on the right side of the numbers for some votes? There has to be something about you. Maybe it's a personal characteristic as you as a player, or a specific move that you made. Like, just give me a little bit more, and then we'll move on from this question.
Okay. So as far as this is concerned, obviously going to the first 2 tribal councils, I ended up in the minority. In both situations, my best friend in the game left on both instances. So it got to the stage then I ended up at Final 9, where we seemed in a bad spot. Thankfully, we managed to give it to 2 people, the two people that are sitting here with us right now, to still in the game, to come over with us as a group. Therefore, we managed to survive that vote. I then managed to survive a duel, barely, even though I performed the best in both challenges, and it was only an advantage that I lost the first one. Going into Final 7, yes, I may have been the first person to drop out of the challenge, because there's no way I was going to win that, because if you think I was going to be able to handle 20 shots of oil, there was no way it was going to happen. So then going into Final 6, we managed somehow, the other group just collapsed in a way, and then managed to end up here.
All right. Well, that was a quick little brief description of your gameplay. I'm sure if you do make it to the end, hopefully we get into a little bit more details. But let's focus on the task at hand tonight. You have to place a vote. You have to crown somebody, the jury. I mean, the glory spot, or it's going to be you. Tell me, at this late stage in the game, you don't have that immunity, because usually you're flaunting it around like this. You don't have that necklace tonight. Nope, don't grab it, because it ain't yours. Don't look for it.
I wish I could. Trust me, I've got it on the desk next to me over there.
Close by. But at this point in the game, you are vulnerable. What are you basing your vote on tonight?
Well, I think as far as voting tonight is concerned, it's simply making what seems to be the best move to ensure that not only can we make it to the end, that we actually have a chance at the end.
Who's
Because
we?
at this stage, huh?
You want to rephrase that to I or we?
Huh?
You just
Well,
said,
yeah, I'm using we intentionally.
okay, so state the facts. Who's we?
Well, let's be honest here. There's two people in this game, which are the other two members of the rest of the world tribe that are, that are very strong competitors. There's one person, one of the two in particular. If we go to the end of the game with them, they will win this game, no doubt about it, because they have played. Their game's been good socially,
All right.
as far as physically and mentally.
Translate that kind of fast, and I just want to translate that for
Sorry,
viewers and maybe.
sorry. I'm used to talk.
You said
I normally talk faster than this.
No,
So I
I
try
know,
and slow
I know.
myself down. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Okay, you said something about two people being big threats that originated from the World Tribe. The World Tribe is
There's
your
one.
original
There's
tribe.
one person that's. When I say big, as far as Endgame's concerned, there's one person that no
Right,
one
so
here
there's
has a chance of
one
beating, in my
World
opinion.
Tribe other than you, and then there's Rachel from the World Tribe other than you. Who are you talking about?
I'm talking about Rachel.
Okay, this is the first time all merge where I'm hearing Rachel. Now that Gannon's gone, now that Daniel's gone, all of a sudden it's from you. It's Rachel being a big threat. Explain to me.
I think that this is me crediting Rachel's gameplay. Rachel has made good moves for this entire game. She's performed. She's not performed too badly in challenges in her social game. People like Rachel. I've enjoyed having conversations with Rachel.
Okay, that's news to me. We'll get into more into that later at Trouble Council. Let me throw it over to Miss Whitney.
Hi,
How are you, Miss Whitney?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I can't see your head. Move- Stand back just a little bit. Perfect. How are you?
Me? I'm good.
Yeah, I can hear you. All right, so you got second place in that last challenge. You almost won it. Tell me a little bit about it, quickly.
I think it definitely was more of a strategic game. It was make sure certain people didn't win, Rachel and Georgina mostly. So when Brady had asked to use my teleportation, I was not going to say no or anything, and I think I was thinking about moving to his spot too. So I think it could have gone a different way if I didn't let him, but I feel happy with the results of the challenge anyway. I mean, it would have been nice to know that I was immune, of course, but I definitely, hopefully, Brady just stays loyal and to his word, and then I don't have to worry about regretting that decision.
Okay, so it seems like I'm gonna just call it how I see it. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. Before the merge, there's a tie. You and Natalie. Brady and Tanya don't change their votes. Brady goes 2 rocks for you. And now you're talking about you and
Yeah.
Brady at the final five, sort of working with each other in terms of the moves you make to make one of you or both of you successful in the challenge. So now has your relationship been like an alliance throughout this game?
Me and Brady, I would definitely say so. There's been points where I felt like iffy about him and stuff, and I'm sure he's felt the same about me. We've had some disagreements and we've bickered, but I definitely consider Brady wanted to be one of the most loyal people I've connected myself with in this game, and I definitely, and that's why in course and end games, I'm gonna look at what's better for both of us, just because of the fact, I mean, he did take rocks for me. He went to rocks and he could have gone home. So I know Brady has proved himself loyal to me, so there's no reason I shouldn't be to him. So that's how I feel about that. But definitely I would consider it, yeah.
Right. Let's talk about threats. Gannon threat, gone. Daniel threat, gone. Recently, Felix just said Rachel threat. We'll talk about that in a second. But I want to talk about you. Why is your name not being mentioned at these tribal councils as a threat in this game from your perspective?
I have no idea. I mean, I try to play more of a quiet, like not so much of a really outspoken loud. I don't try to bicker and get into the middle of arguments or anything like that. And I I don't know why, honestly. I think I'm still here. I think everybody's still here, so we're all clearly threats. So I don't think it's right to call none of us not a threat because we've all done stuff. We've all made it this far. So it definitely, I think there's so many things that factor into why we're here still, and it's not fair to call anybody not a threat or or a threat in that sense because we've all deserved to be here, I think. So it just kind of depends on people's opinion, and I think everybody's a threat though that I'm sitting with. All of them would be hard going to the end with. So I don't know. It's hard.
Okay, fair enough. That's a respectable, fair answer. Now I want to know, because no shade to you, but you're probably the most quiet player of the Final Five. I've seen all of you guys at multiple tribal councils. I feel like I have a sense of Brady as a player and his story in this game. I feel like I have a sense of Georgina's story and her player as a game, as well as Felix, his story, and Rachel and hers. Maybe not so much, but if I had to rate the five, I feel like you're still a question mark in terms of your story, your intentions. Is that a little bit intentional, being mysterious, or is that just how
I
you're?
think no, I think I try to stay like that because it can help in a sense. Like I think that's helped me get this far is trying not to be super. I don't want to be that annoying person pressuring everybody. I don't want to be that girl that's begging for votes, like trying to stay safe every week, or just every tribal council coming to everybody like, oh my God, don't vote me. I don't feel like that's super necessary. So I've kind of played with the people I've trusted and kept close to them, and I just don't reach out, so to say. If you're not going to reach out to me, I'm not going to reach out back, and I'm not going to keep trying in a sense. So it's definitely, I kind of just keep myself surrounded by the people that I'm more close to. And Gannon's a fucking asshole.
All right, can you comment on
I'm
his?
so sick of him sitting there, rolling his eyes, bobbing his head, like it is driving me bonkers.
All right, why do you think? Let's just state it. Why do you think Gannon is during your questions being Gannon?
It's not even just during my questions, but I think it's just Gannon. That's just how he is. There's
Why do you
nothing
think
more
you left this game
that I think about that.
feeling this way toward you?
I don't know. He's got so much animosity towards me for just like I didn't use my power to reset and get Daniel out immediately. I stayed aligned with Daniel instead of working with him and Brady. I don't know. So I guess all those things could amount to that, but I feel like that was better for my game in the long run. I did not see myself needing to work with Gannon after him and Tanya voted me before merge.
Okay, that's fair enough. So you just didn't see the need to work with him after the merge because
but
of what?
Brady did, so it was very hard. It was really hard to try to keep Brady and me like super close because that's where he wanted to be. He wanted to work with Gannon. I didn't. So it was definitely hard right there to try to work how I was going to keep Brady close but still work with Daniel and not him and Gannon. So it was definitely hard.
Okay, so I feel like I just got a little bit more of your game. You and Brady, not a duo, but a friendship who came in from a crazy situation right before merge. Brady goes on this side of the war. You are on this side of the war. Both of you guys are really close, trust each other, and then it's, how do I get there with this guy type of deal. All right, I get it. Thank you, Whitney.
Thank you.
Okay, Miss Rachel.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I am good. So, there's always a pedestal. This is it right here. Okay? Gannon spent time up here. This is the threat pedestal, okay? And then Daniel spent some time up here. Georgina's been up here, and all of a sudden I got this new figurine today, and it's Rachel, and I walked in, and she's on this pedestal. And I have no idea how it came about. I know I asked you last tribal council, why not you as a threat? Your name hasn't been going around as a threat. And a day later, Felix is like, you're the threat. You're the one to win.
Mm-hmm.
Did you know about this prior to the challenge at tribal council?
I totally expected it. I mean, even today during the challenge, I do have to say that Felix's clueless act is really annoying. Like, he knows what he's doing, and I really wish he would just own up to it because during that
Rachel,
challenge...
Rachel, I know what I'm doing now. I know exactly what I'm doing now. I know exactly what I plan to do with this tribal council. My plan with this tribal council is to write down your name.
All right.
Yes.
I don't think she meant, like,
I'm not talking about that. If you actually would let me finish instead of jumping in obnoxiously.
Okay,
Um,
finish.
like you saying things like, oh, during this competition, like, I just made some bad moves. No, you didn't. You were clearly trying to block me off. Like, that's exactly what you were doing. So you should just own it. Like, you don't need to just say that, oh, I don't know what I'm doing, or, oh, I'm not going to win this game if I make it to the end, because you've done a ton of things to be a threat at the end of this game. You had a decimated tribe, and you survived after Will and Natalie were out. You won a duel. You've won 2 individual immunity challenges. Like, you definitely are a force in this game, and it's just annoying to see you not own it.
All right.
Well, as far as this challenge was Rachel, can I comment on that, Sandy?
Real quick, yes.
As far as this challenge was concerned, Rachel, I had 2 objectives. One of them, I was trying to win and ensure you didn't. I managed to do the ensure you don't win. The winning myself, I didn't manage to do, but the ensuring you don't win is the most important part of that challenge.
Yes, so just say that instead of saying, oh, I made some bad moves.
Well, I did make some bad moves, but I still wanted you to lose. Also, I was trying to make good moves and still make you lose, if that makes sense. I wanted you to lose the challenge desperately because I wanted you to go home tonight. Nothing personal against you. It's not like I dislike you as a person. That being said, as far as this game is concerned, I want you to sitting at Ponderosa with the rest of them.
Well, that's fair, but say that.
Okay.
Heard. And that's kind of what I was trying to reel out of him, Rachel. So kind of thank you for speaking it and combating him. Because I guess from a host perspective, he was still a little bit tight-lipped. But when a contestant comes at him, I guess you put a fire under his ass. But okay, let's just talk about this. We just put you up here, and you just named a couple of things that puts Felix right on this thing as well. The threat pedestal. Felix is here. Tell me and the rest of the jury and the contestants why Felix deserves to stand here right next to you since he's putting you there.
Well, I just kind of highlighted it. He was on the outs for quite a while. People had a lot of negative things to say about his personality throughout this game, and he still survived vote after vote. He won 2 individual immunity challenges. He won the duel when he went hypothermic. And he won a duel against Axel to stay in this game. So I just feel like he's done a lot, and he's managed to survive despite people not really liking him as much as some of the other cast members. So, I mean, it's very easy for the 3 of them to kind of go after me and Georgina at this point. I think that's fairly obvious. But is it their best move? I don't know. I definitely understand why people will view me as a threat. But at the same time, if Whitney was to get voted out today, for example, she wouldn't vote for me in the end of this game. I don't think Felix would vote for me. So there's definitely a lot to consider when you're thinking about who is going to be sitting on that jury, because at the end of the day, you want people on the jury who are going to vote for you. And I just don't think that certain people would. Like, Whitney and I have barely had any conversations in this game, and that's another thing. Like, Whitney said that if you're not going to reach out to her, she's not going to reach out to you. Well, I tried to reach out to her for the past like 3 to 4 rounds, and she gave me nothing. So, I mean, that's really frustrating too. So it's just, I don't see why she would vote for me, because she doesn't talk to me, and I don't talk to her because I stopped trying.
All right, so are you a target tonight?
Oh, yeah, absolutely, 100%.
And because of that, you have to have a target. Who are you voting?
I mean, it's going to be down to me or Georgina, and I think we just kind of decided that we're just going to vote for each other and see what happens. But, I mean, it's obviously going to be me. So, I mean, I might just vote the way that I voted last round and just vote for Whitney because...
Okay, I'm surprised. So you were just naming all these things about Felix being this big threat, and you're voting out one of your closest allies. Why?
Well, that was just what we discussed before. I mean, things could change, and I mean, I know Felix is a big threat, so I mean, if people wanted to change their mind and vote for him, they could. But it's just that's not what I feel right now.
Voting out your closest ally at the final 5 even be an option, even if you were getting okay, I see what you're saying. So if it is Georgina that's the target, you want that vote to possibly save yourself, and so you're.
Yeah, well, we discussed voting together, but we didn't know if it would be the best move. Georgina thought that maybe it would kind of help her case next round if she votes with them. I don't think it will. I still think she's going to be a target next round, regardless if she votes me out. And I think she's me.
What has been your case to Brady, to Georgina, and to Whitney, or to Felix?
My case to Whitney has been non-existent because, like, we've already been over that. It's really annoying. My case to Brady, I guess, is just the fact that Whitney would not vote for me if she was sitting on the jury. And I think Felix is a huge threat. He definitely is a huge threat. So I just tried to outline that to him. I mean, it's not as clear cut as, oh, just because the three of us are working together, we just automatically need to go to the finals. I mean, I'm sorry, but there's a reason why I voted Mark out of this game. I recognized that he was such a huge threat. I really loved Mark's gameplay. He played amazingly, and it really threatened me.
Can I cut in here as well, please?
Yeah, real quick. But I had just any regret in that decision on Mark?
I mean, knowing that I'm probably leaving, of course, there are things that I look back on and I'm like, oh, maybe if I didn't do that. But I mean, I don't know. I found it very hard to. I tried to trust Mark, and I mean, he'll see that at the end in my confessionals. I really tried to trust him again, and I couldn't. And I just feel like you can't work with someone when you're constantly doubting them. And I feel like he sensed my doubt too. Like he called me on it a couple times and was like, "You seem like you're not trusting me." And it was just I couldn't. Like I tried and I just couldn't. So I mean, I definitely kind of regret that decision looking back on it. And things might have been different, but I made that decision. I have to live with it, even if it was wrong.
Gotcha. It's how the game works. You can't say that was a bad or good decision because at the time it was the best decision with the cards you were dealt with, the knowledge you knew.
Exactly.
Easy to say, oh, I would have done it anyway, or I would have changed my mind after the fact. All right, I want to just let Felix talk real quick, and then we'll move on to Miss Regina.
I think quick thing is, I think as far as the threatening thing is concerned, Rachel, I think the thing is, look at what happened on Original Malka. You was part of a group that managed to pull off a great blinds against Taylor and Axel, and myself. I was equally shocked as much as they were, because as much as I was told something was happening, I didn't know specifically what was going on. That's the honest. That's exactly what happened to Tribal Council, because I was told by Gannon that something was going to occur. I just wasn't told specifically what was going to occur. So I just knew something was going on. That being said, if you look at Original Malcolm, I did not do anything. So if you're calling me a threat, that didn't start until we was at least a third of the way into the game. Even if I was the biggest threat ever, you can't really say I was threatening at all when we was on Original Malcolm. If Yogi hadn't quit the game, me or Axel was leaving at that tribal council, as far as we was aware. It was going to be a split vote between us two due to the frozen tundra. So saying that even if I was the huge
beginning of the game,
would you say sorry?
I'm not talking about the beginning, like the first few rounds.
No, I'm just making a point, Rachel. You've been playing an amazing game since day one. That's the point I'm trying to make.
Okay, thank you. Georgina, how does it feel to be in a position to where one of your closest allies from day one, been with you since the start of this game, is like, okay, we talked about voting each other?
Honestly, it's depressing. It sucks. And it's gotten to that point in the game where we've tried to think of what else to do at this point, and we're coming up short, and that's the hardest part to come to terms with. The fact that we know that there's stuff that can be done, and we know that people are being overlooked for how threatening they actually are, but the fact is, Brady, Whitney, and Felix have the majority, and they don't want to give it up.
That is a heavy load. I can't help with that information. Back to last tribal council, when I asked Rachel who was spearheading this vote, she said she was riding the wave, and I asked her who created the wave, and she said the same person that created the wave that swallowed and drowned Gannon. So, by my process of deduction, Brady created a wave, tsunami on Gannon. Brady created a wave, swallowed Daniel. Why are if Felix and Whitney are so like in an alliance with Brady, why are they so focused on a big threat being you and Rachel when Brady has been, and
the mastermind?
Yeah, he's been the mastermind behind a lot of people's demises. So speak on that just a little bit.
Well, in terms of Whitney, I believe her relationship with Brady has improved so much so that she is now with him again and will follow him to the end. It's a fine move for her. It'll get her there. But Felix, I think, has to start thinking about the fact that, you know, Brady has now done huge moves, and he has been the head of it, and everybody knows it. Unfortunately, Felix can't do anything about that tonight, and you know.
Then tonight, have you decided on what you're basing your vote on, or even if you decided your vote?
I don't know. I don't want to have to vote for Rachel. It's a really shit thing to have to do at this point. Like at this time in the game, like she is the only one who's been like honest with me for the most part and has had my back. And to then have to get to the point where you turn on that person, it's not fun. It's not fun at all.
Or do you think if you did vote her, she'd understand it, knowing that it wasn't really you turning on her because you didn't start the pitchforkness against her?
Yeah, I think we both are under that understanding that whoever does go home out of us, you know, we're only voting that way because we feel we have to, because we're not getting any other options.
Good. Thank you, Georgina. Let me bring it over to Brady. Hi. How are you, Brady?
Oh, hey, good. Didn't hear it.
Okay, so how does it feel to seemingly be in control of this game for the past two tribal councils?
I'd definitely say that I've been pushing these moves, but it wasn't just all me. Felix and Whitney have stayed loyal, and that's been a key part to it. And yeah, we're on a ride here. But I just want to ask Georgina something because we were on call before Trust Tribal happened, and I asked you, told me, I don't know if you ever told me for sure you would honor the deal you offered, or I asked. I just want to know, like, is that a yes or a no?
With what?
What we talked about.
Is it a yes or a no?
Yeah.
I said I did answer that on call. So
Okay, I just don't
answer
remember.
to that.
Okay. Sorry, I forgot, but alright.
Right, so there is
I wasn't trying to put her on the spot there. I'm just confused as why Felix was apparently trying to get me. It's interesting.
What?
a legit deal being made at tribal council.
Brady, what did you just say there?
This is amazing.
Well, Georgina said that you were thinking about voting me out.
George,
When did I say? Wait. When did I say that?
Didn't you just say that?
I would like receipts there.
What'd you say? You said that.
No, I said it would be
you said
smart.
Felix would-
I said it would be
Oh, okay.
smart for Felix to vote you out.
All right.
I'm not saying that Felix will actually do that.
Okay. Sorry, Felix. Next question.
So what was the deal that these two made then?
She wouldn't vote me.
What's the return there? There's got to be some. It's not just that's it. There's got to be something else to it.
I'm not voting her
It
today.
keeps me in the game.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, Brady. So, deals being made live at Tribal Council with Georgina. You're the tidal wave that took out Dan, and you're a part of the tidal wave that took out Daniel. Are you creating the tidal wave that could take out the person tonight? Is this your idea, or did people come to you and convince you?
It's my idea. It was kind of set in stone, though. Me, Felix, and Whitney have had the plan of taking those four out. Bam, 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 bam. Just didn't know the order exactly.
Is this true, Felix and Whitney? Head nod if this is true.
That is true. Since I came back from the duel, the plan was for us to be the final three. If it would have gone my way, this wouldn't have been the knockdown order, but this was the ideal plan.
Right. I agree with that.
All right. I'm going to give one last opportunity for any of you to talk to one another, to state any last final words before we actually get to the vote. I'm going to start with Whitney.
I don't really have any final words. I guess this went well. It was definitely an eye-opener hearing everybody talk and seeing where everyone's heads are at and how people are feeling. So that was definitely, it was good.
After saying this, how do you feel about your position and your chance to win?
I don't know. I don't feel like I have a huge chance to win, but I feel good about what I've done so far and what I've accomplished in the game.
All
So
that you can ask for is feeling good about how you've played the game. So good job, Rachel. Floor's yours.
I guess if anything, I would just ask that next round to keep Georgina and then vote out Whitney so that there can be an actual battle at the final three tribal council. That would be nice to see. To
That's
see
not going to
Georgina,
happen.
Brady, and Felix.
It's not going to happen, but
Now I know it won't, but
yeah. It's a good try, though.
thank you, Brady, once again. Having my back.
Floor's yours, Felix.
Well, my last words. Good luck, everybody, and to ever go to jury. If bye.
I just quickly want to touch on to Brady real quick. Okay, so you said
What's
it's
up?
not going to happen, meaning Whitney's not going to go next round.
Georgina.
That's safe to assume that Georgina.
I'm gonna go next round.
We have a final three for a reason.
But Georgina just made a deal with you as to, or it has nothing to do with next round. It's just for safety this round.
Yeah.
Oh. Yes, Godfather.
I will like to address to Rachel, you buried yourself when you told Gannon everything before the endurance challenge. So if you're wondering why you're going home now, that's why.
And Georgina, any final words before we get to the vote?
I don't know, this is not even close to my final words last time. But whether Rachel or I go home, it's been a blast. I think I've found awesome friends through this game, and you know what? At the end of the day, it is a game, and I think all people in this final five have played this game to its fullest.
Okay. We're going to finish up the question and answer ceremony, guys. I'm going to need you to PM me on Skype the name of the person you want to send to jury. The name of the person you want to vote out of the Teplo tribe here in Russia. And I will mute as I tally the votes. So vote ASAP and sit tight.
I'm just looking on. Um,
All right, everybody. I need to remind everyone that once the votes are read, the decision is final. Person voted out will be asked to leave the tribal council area immediately. I'll read the votes. Okay. First vote. Rachel. Second vote. Whitney. Third vote. Whitney.
That was the funniest thing.
2 votes for Whitney. 1 vote for Rachel. 2 votes left. Rachel. Tied. 2 votes for Whitney. And 2 votes for Rachel. 1 vote left. The 16th person voted out of I Survivor Russia. The 8th member of our jury. Rachel. You need to bring me your torch, Rachel. Time for you to go. Tribe. Spoken. Rachel, you become the most recent jury member and the most recent glory spot goddess of I Survivor. I know tonight's going to be a lot of decompression for you, but from the bottom of my heart, Rachel, I want to thank you for playing this game. As your first org, I was thoroughly impressed. I really didn't know what to expect from you, but from day one, tribal council, the first tribal council you attended, going hard, going to exile. You were just, the music video, the scavenger hunt, all the memories. You were probably, I think, one of the front runners up until tonight. So I think maybe it was a good right decision. We'll see. But you just played your heart out. Do not feel bad about 5th place. You're part of an elite group of I Survivor alumni. I want to welcome you to the family. And you're off to the jury alongside Tanya, Gannon, Hunter, Jessica, Will, and Natalie. So you're around good company. But for now, happy to go.
Thanks, it was so fun. Good luck, Georgina. Win that last challenge, please.
Bye, Rachel.
Good try.
All right, we are at the final 4.
Well, Constance won't be happy.
Around
Constant trying to get me out.
right, Felix.
He's so
Or everybody give a round of applause for Felix. Miss Georgina, representing the rest of the world tribe. Mr. Brady, U.S. male representative, and Miss Whitney, the U.S. female representative, all part of our Final 4. Guys, challenge details, same as always, you're going to figure it out, discuss it in your tribe chat. Everybody, thank you, say goodbye to the viewers.
Yeah, Brian Constance, next tribal council, can you not campaign to get me out? Thank you.
On behalf of myself, the jury, the Final 4 of I Survivor, and the production team and the community, thank you guys. See you tomorrow night, same place, same time, for the Final 4 Immunity Challenge. and Tribal Council of iSurvivor Russia. Make sure you follow us on Facebook, iSurvivor, iSurvivor, iSurvivor on Twitter, iSurvivor on Instagram. Peace.